Ottawa police say that as the weekend came to an end, so too did the Rolling Thunder demonstration. Organizers had promised to leave after Sunday's scheduled events, and they were true to their word. But the force did open an investigation after the capital city Bikers Church, where protesters attended a Sunday service, was defaced with graffiti targeting demonstrators. Messages including fascist and no haven for fascism were spray painted on the building. Police are calling it an incident of hate-motivated mischief. Well, joining us now to give us more details on the demonstration that happened in the nation's capital over the weekend is Dr. Joao Velloso, an associate professor at the University of Ottawa's Faculty of Law. He has expertise in the policing of protesters and mass events. Dr. Velloso, thank you again for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Now, we know you conducted extensive on-the-ground research of the Freedom Convoy protests in February. So how did the City of Ottawa handle the Rolling Thunder demonstration in comparison?
The approach is quite different. First, they enforce the legal tools available, notably bylaws. And I think that's something interesting to note because we didn't see the SSA views of force that we ended up seeing in February because nothing has been done for 4 weeks before. And the approach they took this time is, well, let's just enforce the legal tools available, notably bylaws. And the main intervention we had in the downtown area were parking tickets.
Can you tell us a little bit more about these steps, Dr. Velloso? What did police and officials do differently this time around?
Well, they were way more prepared in terms of availability of police forces. So they had plenty of partners. But I would say the key difference is that they securitized the area in advance compared to the last time, and they were really clear about the right to protest. The right to protest is about individual rights. Individuals do have shorter rights in terms of protest, in terms of movement, not necessarily trucks, any kind of vehicles that need to follow specific regulations. So they send this message first. Well, everybody has the right to protest as individuals, but this doesn't mean that we're going to allow vehicles in certain areas of town, and this does not mean that parking regulation does not apply. If your vehicle is parked in an area that should not be parked, we're going to enforce the existing bylaws, and they did. The city issued 899 tickets.
All right, Doctor. Well, what do we know so far about the message that Rolling Thunder demonstrators were trying to get out?
The message was quite diffuse in the sense that this main idea of getting back the war memorial, well, the war memorial was always there. The day before, the weeks before, it was clean, available. Like I work nearby, I live nearby, and a couple of times we went there, and people were going there and putting flowers when weather was nice. So they're getting back something that no one really had taken before. And the same thing for mandates, like mandates, at least in Ontario, where Ottawa is located, were not necessarily in play like for about a month. So obviously there are still some restrictions regarding travel, but like this is something that sometimes not even under the Canadian government control. Like if we cannot enter in a different country because there are regulations from a different country, well, that's it. Such as life. Like we don't have necessarily border control regarding a foreign country.
All right, Dr. Velloso, a quick minute left here, but what about Ottawa's residents? What is their current emotional state or any sentiments they're giving off following 2 protests in the capital?
I think everybody is probably adjusting. Lots of people are not happy on how the police handled the situation because they feel that there was a vehicle restriction area and somehow the police escorted the bikers to a certain extent in a restricted area. Others just think that they manage well the situation. and even like stating that, well, we're glad that didn't have many arrests, and the kind of scene we had in February, that it's not necessarily what the population wants either. Like the population was complaining most of February just about basic law and order, talking about parking, sometimes excessive noise, sometimes open fires, fireworks, and we also had less of these behaviors over the week.
All right, Dr. Velloso, we are out of time, but thank you again for joining us today and clarifying things for us on Forum Daily.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.